Tonight I want to talk about a topic very interesting and in some way for me is hilarious, because I'm posting videos about the Bible and the Book of Mormon, and there are guys that they write me back with comments not about the Bible and the Book of Mormon, which is the topic of the video, but about racism. Mormons are racist. There is nothing in the Bible about the mark of the Negro, only in the Book of Mormon, blah 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 blah. And I found this very hilarious because first of all, the topic of my video is the Bible and the Book of Mormon, and if they don't comment what I wrote or what I said in this video, it means they have nothing to say, and that's great, first. Second, there is no relation between the Bible and Book of Mormon and racism. Also, it's from 1978 that we are giving the priesthood to the black people. So it's more than 30 years. And before we were criticized because we didn't give the priesthood, and now even though we are giving it, we are still criticized. So there is no way to make those people happy. Probably the reason is they have no other argument, no other topic. They have no nothing to say than that. Anyway, I can prove that the Mormons are no racist. I can prove why it wasn't given the priesthood to the black people, and I want to prove who are the real racists. Our Constitution, I'm saying our because now I'm an American citizen, so it's even my Constitution, talks about freedom of religion. Okay, that's important. Also, every man is equal before God, even the black guys. The Mormons, they never had slaves. Mormons were in Missouri, a slave state, and they hate us because we didn't support slavery. And the Mormons were hated, that one was the main reason. It's interesting to see that this country, even though there was in the Constitution the equality of race, they had to do a war to put in force the law. According to the history, the majority of the Americans were and still are Protestants. There were very few Catholics at the beginning, and there were no Mormons. So who practiced the slavery? And that's interesting because only the Protestants, I mean not all Protestants, but the people who did the slavery were mainly Protestants. Also, the Mormons, even though they were free to worship according to the Constitution, they had to, there was a extermination order, and it was against the Constitution, and it's proved that who conspired against the Mormons were the Protestants. Who killed the prophet were Protestants. So I don't think it's a good deal for you guys to talk about this. Anyway, who is a racist? Who doesn't give the priesthood? Or who keep you slave? I think it's the guy who keep you slave is a racist, not the one that doesn't give you the priesthood. But anyway, I want to go ahead and tell you and explain you why by the Bible, because the people they wrote me, usually they were saying there is nothing in the Bible to maintain this. And I prove, and I'm sure I will, that the Bible maintains our idea, and if the Mormons are racist because of this, God is racist. There is no doubt. Anyway, a guy who wrote me, I don't want to mention his name, he said there is nothing in the Bible talking about a mark, a curse. And so if we go in Genesis chapter 4 and verse 9 and 10 and 11, and says, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground, and now art thou cursed. Oh, say cursed from the earth. And after that, Cain said, my punishment is greater than I can bear. And he said, and it shall come to pass, and everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So from this verse we understand there were already other people around in the world, because Cain was afraid to say, there are some other people will get vengeance, will kill me. And the Lord said, and the Lord set a mark. There is a curse and a mark upon Cain. And the reason why the Lord put a mark on Cain is simple. At that time there was no identity picture, nothing. So how you know if a guy was cursed by God? And so there was something clearly visible. Okay? According to tradition, even Hebrew tradition, and I will show about the Bible anyway, the mark was a black skin. Now, you could say a logical question, well, but after the flood, how the black people remain? Yeah, it's a good question. And I explain this, and I explain also how the curse continued. After the flood, in Genesis 9, verse 18 to 26. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. It's interesting because the only son mentioned is the son of Ham, not the two others. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted the vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and he was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, again he mentioned his son, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan. Again, there is a curse in the Bible. A servant of servant shall be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Well, according to the story of the word, anybody knows that the descendant from Ham are the black people, and the prophecy was literally fulfilled because the slavery was prophesied here and fulfilled in this country. So now you could say it's very interesting according to my opinion, because the prophecy is literally fulfilled. But why Canaan was black. This is the only point that the Bible doesn't explain. Just in the book of Mormon, or no better, in the book of Abraham, there is the clear explanation. Why he cursed Canaan instead of Ham, Noah? Simple. Ham already had or hold the priesthood. And so, to avoid that the son could have the priesthood, he cursed the son and his descendants. Every curse has a beginning, but has a beginning and a end. And the curse ended in 1978 because another prophet received from the Lord the commandment to finish the curse. It makes sense. Anyway, I'll do another video or two to go ahead and explain how the black skin remained after the flood.